Yo, right here in the small box. It's about damn time. Apparently, what took them so long to finally make their arrest is that the fact that Celeste was chopped up oh so finely. It was hard to prove who did what because you gotta run forensics on every body part. Like the body's not together. The body is cut up like oxtail. You know what I'm saying? Well, not literally like oxtail, but like her body's cut up. So that's the reason why it took so long to prove that David did this. So all of us ask like, yo, literally it's right there. Like, that's cool that we figured it out, but we need to make sure that they can figure it out too. So they need to test their intelligence as well. But it looks like they did the job. The job is done for sure. David is arrested. I want that man under the jail. You sick, dirty, you, wicked you, this. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and dive in. I'm not going to even do an intro. I'm not even going to give this nigga the time of day. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the vibe. You tapped in with your favorite Canadian reaction channel and network. Let's go ahead and get started with this one right here. Let's go. What am I doing with my hand? Anyway, let's go.
Now, this is the best news that I heard all day. It looks like David has finally been arrested in connection to the unaliving of Celeste Rivas. It has finally been announced that he is going in and getting booked, and it looks like there is no bail for him. Finally, after 7 months of this going on. And the last time that I talked about this, one thing that I said was, how can everybody know what's going on? How can the internet put all of these things together and the police still not put David in handcuffs? He has been free for so long. It is ridiculous. And I understand cops have to do their investigation. But when you think about the Pooh Shiesty situation, they locked him up 3 months after the crime. David was still out here running around despite all of the horrible, disgusting things that he did to Celeste. I mean, I'm just so glad that he's finally locked up because a person like this and the accusations that he's facing are so horrifying that he does not deserve to be out here at all. Now, the LA News has talked about this, and they give us more details about his arrest.
We have some breaking news right now in a case that NBC4 investigates has been following for the past 7 months. Indie singer David has just been arrested in connection with a 14-year-old Celeste Rivas.
NBC4 reporters broke this story back in September when the teen's decomposed body was found in the front truck of a Tesla registered to David. The car had been impounded at a tow yard in LA after someone reported it abandoned there.
I mean, completely disgusting, bro. The details are so horrible. I don't want to go over them again. We know this story. It's been going on for 7 months. I talked about it on this channel when it first happened, and I wasn't going to talk about it again until he finally got arrested. But finally, we can see justice happen today.
In Hollywood Hills. NBC4's Eric Litta joins us live from the newsroom. Eric.
Hi, Michael and Colleen. Yeah, this is something that the police department and the LA County District Attorney's Office have been working on for months, trying to put together what they believe was a compelling case and enough evidence to prove that they believe David, known as legally as David Burke, is responsible for Celeste Rivas's murder. According to the Los Angeles Police Department, our contacts there, detectives from the LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division arrested David, 21 years old, here in California today. He's expected to be held with no bail and make an initial appearance in court on Monday morning on that murder charge.
Good, bro. I mean, goddamn, it took too freaking long for them to arrest this guy, man. It took too long. And I'm happy that he got locked up and didn't run away. I'm glad that he wasn't like a flight risk during this time. And to be honest, everybody thought the same thing. They thought that he was going to run away. They thought that he was going to take off, that he wasn't going to try to face these charges. He is a bold individual.
He already tried to run away because, like, when everybody started talking about girl, the man kept touring. He didn't want to stop the tour to mourn. This man kept touring, kept playing his music, having that weird-ass casket at every stop, talking about, oh, it's an aesthetic. Yo, bro, what are you doing? What's wrong with this guy? Like, there's something mentally ill with dude. Now, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody with, like, any kind of mental illness out there, but at the same time, if you out here doing things like this, bro, me personally, you should get this work. Like, you should be roasted to oblivion. Sorry, like, for you to move like this bro, the dude cut up a body, gang. He cut up a body. Like, do you understand how ill in the head you need to be to proceed to chop somebody up into numerous parts? Do you understand what kind of mental space you need to be? Nah, bro. That's crazy to me. I'm good. Nah. Nah, you get this work from me. I don't care.
To think that he could get away with this crime.
As we've been reporting for the last several months, it was Celeste Rivas's remains that were found in 2 bags inside the front trunk of the Tesla that was registered to him. And you'll remember last September, that Tesla was impounded from a street in the Hollywood Hills, fairly close to a rental home where David had been living while he was in Southern California. Rivas, we're told, disappeared sometime probably a year prior to the discovery of her remains in the Tesla. That car had been parked on that side street for weeks before it was impounded and her remains were discovered.
And remember, they found the car while he was on tour. Bro was doing a whole tour while he left her there in the car, left her there to rot. It's fucking disgusting, bro. This guy is a POS, and he deserves everything that is coming to him. I hope they make sure that he gets the full extent of the law, bro. He deserves to be thrown under the jail.
And we also learned from some court filings that they suspect Celeste Rivas died sometime in the spring of 2025.
Crazy.
But again, wasn't discovered until September of 2025.
Disgusting,
she was likely 14 years old at the time of her death. She would have turned 15 years old the day after, we believe, the day after her body was discovered.
And this is the time where everybody found out that the music video came out on her birthday. She was discovered on her birthday. All of these things were connecting to her birth date. And that was disgusting too. The fact that he could have planned this to go along with these dates, truly disgusting, and makes me feel like this was actually premeditated. And then talking about his alter ego and all this cringe shit, bro. Man, this guy deserves everything that he got coming to him, man.
So the LAPD detectives were looking to discover the evidence.
Yeah, I'm not. Let me tell you something.
Deserves everything that he got coming to him, man.
So the LAPD detectives were looking to discover the evidence that would put all of this together. The biggest stumbling block from what we have reported on over the last few months is that it was difficult to determine her cause of death because, without being too grisly here, her remains had decomposed significantly in the months between the time she likely died and the time of the discovery.
Horrible.
We'll continue to follow all of the developments this afternoon, but again, David in custody with the LAPD, and we expect to learn more about the criminal charges shortly. Back to you guys.
Make sure you do them dirty, bruh. Make sure you do them dirty, on God.
An accomplice or a number of accomplices, do we know anything about that yet?
Right, we heard from some of our contacts that were connected with this case that there was a suspicion that because of the way things had happened and the things that were discovered right after the discovery of her remains, that the detectives believed somebody else probably assisted. As far as we know, the only arrest today is the singer himself, but certainly remains a possibility that others could be implicated.
Whoever else is involved, they better get arrested right away, bro. They better burn these guys at the stake. I promise you, man. I can't believe that it took this long for him to get arrested. And I told myself the day that he gets arrested, I'll make a video. I'll talk about it again because I felt like everybody else that was covering the story was dragging it without any confirmation of anything else or any new updates. It was basically them just trying to squeeze the milk out of the story. But I'm glad to announce that he is arrested, and I hope that he does get the full extent of the law. Now, again, in America, innocent until proven guilty. But goddamn, bro, the evidence that people found over the internet is fucking ridiculous. And everybody else that's involved, I hope they get locked up following his arrest. And I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. Whoever else was involved in helping him with whatever he did to Celeste is going down too. Without a doubt, he had to have gotten help from somebody. He couldn't have done this alone. He needed to do this with somebody else. And then we talk about all the other things that they found in his home. They find these things to dismember something. They found this incinerator. Like, it was completely ridiculous. The fact that he had left her in a car and then went on tour and started throwing out Labubus was fucking insane to me. This guy is the definition of evil and the definition of a punk. And I hope that he gets treated as such when he goes to jail, bro. They need to throw him under the jail. They need to lock him up and throw away the key and make sure that he never sees the light of day again. Bro, I can't stand this fucking guy. The fact that cops and investigators let him stay out of jail for this long has always been ridiculous to me. I hate the fact that he was even out here. People were saying that he was playing Fortnite, chilling at the crib while people were looking at this investigation. This is the craziest shit that I've ever seen from police. Like, everybody knows he's involved in the crime. Everybody knows in some way he has something to do with it. But yet he is out here for 7 whole months, never seen a jail cell. That's the part that pissed me off the most. Like I said, Pooh Shiesty robbed Gucci Mane, and they took him in 3 months later after it happened. And nobody lost their life in that situation. It's just crazy to see how slow this case was taking. But now, hopefully, after all of this has came out, I'm hoping that the police and the investigators have all their ducks in a row to put this guy away forever. I'm hoping that he gets more than 30 years, more than 50 years. I hope he gets a life sentence. Now we have to wait until Monday to see exactly what's going on with his case, how his case is going to develop. We'll be sure to keep updates with that.
This man literally looks like a villain. Like, what the hell? But like I was saying at the beginning, like, I understand that when it comes down to like the like whoever's working forensics and all that, like, I get it. Like, the internet doing your job, and then now you got to do your job on top of the internet doing your job. So like, you got to double check and triple check everything. And then with that, now you got to come out here and then check the body to confirm that dude is the one that has like fingerprints on the body parts. That there's motive connected to what you find by yourself. Like, I get that part, but damn, this is ridiculous. Like, this is all of this is just crazy. This is just absolutely crazy. So at this point, Rapaholics. Now I'm not trying to sit here and watch the whole thing, but I know Rapaholics towards the end, they have a better wrap up for this whole situation, so I want to go ahead and play that part as well. I don't know the exact time, but we're gonna shoot our shot in the dark and see if we can find the right time to start this video so we can get closure from this side as well, and then we can move on to something else. All right, so we're definitely gonna go ahead and let that happen. Shoot, let's go.
Main target of the murder investigation. At the same time, prosecutors were fighting to force his parents and brother to testify before a California grand jury. His father tried to stop that in court, saying that the process was unfair, but a Texas appeals court sided against the family and said their testimony was important to the case.
Newly unsealed court records in connection to the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez reveal that singer David is now being investigated for her murder. Those documents also provide horrifying new details in this case.
KTLA's Aaron Myers live in our newsroom with more on this breaking story. Aaron.
Court documents made public in the alleged homicide of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez reveal gruesome new details about the death of the teenager, identifying the singer David as the investigation's central target. The documents were made public through Texas appellate proceedings and are tied to the Los Angeles County grand jury murder investigation targeting singer David Burke. Private investigator Steve Fisher posted the documents on his X account. The documents were filed under seal but were made public after the singer's family challenged subpoenas compelling them to testify before a California grand jury. Los Angeles Magazine says the proceedings in Texas weren't sealed, so portions of the California filings were available in the Texas appellate docket. The singer's father, mother, and brother, who live in Texas, were summoned to testify in Los Angeles on February 11th. But David's father filed a petition for writ of habeas corpus, saying the subpoena violated his constitutional due process rights. His lawyers claim he was denied due process because he did not get full, unredacted copies of California certification documents, and that portions establishing why his testimony was material and necessary were withheld, according to Los Angeles Magazine. In the documents, detectives say David and his father have a close relationship. The Texas First Court of Appeals rejected the petition, according to Los Angeles Magazine, telling the family they had until yesterday to file additional appeals.
That's where y'all, like, yo, just think about it, man. They cut girl up. They cut her up well enough for them to put it in 2 bags. How the hell you portioning up a little girl, bro? That's crazy. You cut her up and you trying to sell, not sell, but you trying to like bag her like y'all trying to sell some meat. Pause. That's crazy to me. It doesn't make sense. And then you gonna stuff her in a trunk so small? What? What? Make that part make sense. Bro, dude he needs a jail cell under the jail beside R. Kelly. That's the only way to get justice. That's the only goddamn way to get justice. Put this man under the jail beside R. Kelly in front Diddy. That's the only way you gonna get justice. I'm just saying words. All right? But for you understand, like, this is ridiculous. So you need to put dude in a ridiculous situation. You gon' portion her up like y'all trying to sell oxtail. That's wild. That's wild. Oh my God.
The Court of Appeal in Texas was very clear in telling David's mother, his father, and his brother that they must appear in front of the grand jury in California. They found that their information would be both material and necessary in terms of this investigation.
As of now, it does not look like anything new was filed in court before the deadline, so David's family may have already testified, according to our legal expert, Allison Treasel.
Now, we don't know for sure if David's parents ended up testifying, but of course, authorities have now pulled together enough evidence, whether through testimonies, investigations, home searches. 5 months after David was reported to be a suspect in this case, 7 months.
This is weird. This is weird, but bro, you couldn't talk about nothing else in your music?
Since Celeste's body was actually found in the trunk of a Tesla that belonged to David, and possibly a full year before her life had actually been taken, it's looking like her family might finally receive the justice they deserve, because David has finally been sent to jail. And the reason why it took so long doesn't seem like it has anything to do with the authorities' lack of evidence that actually pairs David and Celeste together. But instead, it's because, as dark as it is, Celeste's body was found in multiple pieces, making it extremely difficult to understand what the true cause of death was.
See, say that part again. That's what I'm talking about. Good thing I watched this video.
It's because, as dark as it is, Celeste's body was found in multiple pieces, making it extremely difficult to understand what the true cause of death was. Before they tie someone to a murder case, they gotta figure out what the intention behind that person's passing truly was. And it looks like they're closer than ever to discovering that in the case of Celeste.
Major breaking news now. Detectives from the Los Angeles Police Department Robbery Homicide Division have arrested singer David Burke for the murder of Celeste Rivas.
Every time they show girl's face, I just get confused. And I get confused. And I get confused. What did she do to you? Not even that. Like, what were you thinking? To do something like that to her. The girl's underage, not even 16. And you said you won't get like a hacksaw. Is that what they use, a hacksaw? And then you gonna proceed to slice her up. Like, I don't understand people nowadays, bro. And they don't want you to throw around the word mental health and all that, bro. Like, nah, this is ridiculous. There might be some mental health shit going on here, bro. You got to put this man in a straitjacket.
Burke is being held without bail. The case will be presented to the DA's office on Monday for filing consideration. You may remember, and we've been reporting, Rivas's body was found in the trunk of David's car in September of last year. She was only 14 years old.
Well, Mark and Michelle, yeah, sources are telling us that this is based off of evidence that the LAPD was able to...
Respectfully, and I'm not trying to say this in a wrong way, I don't like seeing her face. I'm getting, like, contact PTSD just by looking at her face. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I'm not trying to, like, disrespect her, the family, nothing. But, like, just the thought of looking at pictures of her looking like that, and then it's revealed that she's dismembered, that she's in pieces. I don't want her face in my head. I'm sorry. I'm trying to sleep at night.
To gather and put together, and now is going to be presenting to the LA County DA for a filing decision on Monday. This was not from any kind of indictment. We know that the case had gone to a grand jury, It was expected that there might be an indictment coming sometime soon. We were thinking in the last couple of months or in the next few weeks. This was not from that. We are told that this is evidence that they have been compiling going back to when her body was found last September, that now they have reached a point where they believe they have probable cause, and it's gone to the DA.
And so a lot of people wondering, you know, so many things seem to point to him. Why did it take them this long to make the arrest? We know they're pretty methodical about how they do things, but.
Yeah, it's a good question. One of the things that they were waiting on, Mark, was the cause of death. And there was difficulty reaching that cause of death, not to get too graphic, but her body was in multiple parts. It was in, we know from court documents, 2 different body bags in the front trunk of that Tesla when her body was found. So it was difficult for the medical examiner to determine the cause of death. So they had to prove or be able to show to the DA that she was murdered, that it wasn't something else where, you know, let's say that she overdosed and then somebody freaked out and put her body in that trunk. They have to be able to prove that it was murder. They now believe that they can do that.
We also know David, as many entertainers do, had an entourage of people around him at times. I know some other individuals have been considered as drivers of this vehicle or either around. Any information on possibly how this could impact other people that David was around that also may have been around Celeste Rivas?
Michelle, we don't know yet, and if there are any other arrests that are going to be coming in this case. We know that there were a number of witnesses who came and testified in front of the grand jury, again, that this was not an indictment, that this is probable cause that the LAPD put together and moved forward on. But during the grand jury proceedings, which are secret as they're ongoing, that there were a number of other people who came forward, those who are close to David, friends of David, family members of his were subpoenaed to go in front of the grand jury. So if there are other arrests that could be coming, we don't know. But as of right now, he is the only one that we know of under arrest.
So there you have it. It seems like after 7 months, authorities have finally connected these dots and will expose the truth behind the connection between both David and Celeste, and how and why David may have ended up taking this 14-year-old's life.
Yeah, no, I hope. Well, of course, they got to go through, like, the whole, like, he's arrested now, so, like, we need to see him charged. But at that point, I don't think we need to make a video for that. This should be the last time we should be ever talking about this at all. When he's charged, when he's in jail, cool. I don't need to make a video about that personally. They have him. All you got to do is finish the job. That's it. That's what y'all got to focus on. You have him in your hands. Finish the job. Put that man in prison for life. That's it. I don't need to make a video when he's in jail. He's arrested. This is the last time I need to be hearing about dude, period. I don't like seeing his face. I don't like seeing her face for the fact that she's not even together. That's the part that's messed up. That's why I don't want to look at her face. Because that face or that head is probably not connected to the rest of the body. That's crazy. I'm good. I don't need to have that image in my head. This should be the last time we should be talking about Celeste and dude. That's it. I can't do this no more, bro. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. Get this dude out of here. Get him out of here. God damn, bro. Psycho, weirdo.